how I met my husband.
Yes.
Okay. During World War II, and all so men were sent down to Panama, Cologne, to, to work, and we had 7 bases there. There were Coco Solo, and Coco Solita, and the one that's the hospital was on.
Those are, well, you said those are naval bases?
Yeah, those
Okay.
are all naval bases there. So, um, those guys there look like, oh my goodness, I was working at at this store where the guy was a Jew, just got out of Germany, um, got out of Germany because he said no. His wife told me that he is all upset because they had a business in Germany, and when the Hitler thing started,
When the Hitler thing started, okay.
when the Hitler thing started, he said to his father, "Let's get rid of the business and get out of here." And his father said, "No, it just even blow over. It just some from phase, even blow over. Let's stay." So it seemed like it got worse. And he said to his father, "I am going." So his father says, "Okay, I'll buy you out." But he says, "No, I want you to sell too. And we both end up somebody and get out of here."
Mom, stop pushing the chair.
Oh,
Stop pushing the chair.
yeah.
What are you doing?
And so the partner insists that it was just phase.
It was just a phase, okay.
And so eventually he got his wife and his son, he had a little son, and his son said, "Okay, if you insist on going, I will buy you out." And he bought him out, and he left with his wife and son, and he kept right into Germany to find out what happened, and he never heard from this
I
guy.
never heard from his partner.
And so his wife says for me to talk to him that he did exactly what he should have done. That don't feel guilty. God, why are you feeling guilty? Because you left the party, but you told him to come, and he didn't want to.
Right.
So
Did he know did you all know anything at that time about the Holocaust or what was happening in Germany? Did he?
yes, that's why he left.
So he suspects that his partner did,
He wrote to his partner.
and he never heard back
I
from
never
him.
heard from him. He wrote from the German friend, and he said that he did not know what happened to
What
him.
happened to him? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
That's like a survivor's guilt.
meanwhile, that was one part, okay? Meanwhile, I was going to a guy named, what's his name? I can't think of his name though, but I could give a name. I would go with him. He was he wasn't a boyfriend. He was just a friend because he was something else. He never hold your hand. He never tried to kiss you. But
Clifton.
anyway, I
Is
was
this Clifton?
Huh?
Was it Clifton? Clifford?
No.
Cl-
It's, his name was. I can't. I used to come.
I know who it is. I can't think of it either right now.
Yeah. Well, his, no, a friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine, was getting married to one of the American sailors.
Mm-hmm.
So what they had, like every month, once a month, they had a wedding rehearsal. That's about 3 months there. So this guy that's supposed to marry the girl, Ivy,
Yeah.
they told Ivy that he got to go back um, to the state
Mm-hmm.
to tell his he don't want to write to his parents
Mm-hmm.
that he's getting married. You want to see them face to face.
Right.
So he left, but he'll be back in time to be married.
Right.
So he went, and they contacted the father of Ivy kept sorry, the father of Ivy bought, champagne, they rent the hall, paid to rent a big hall, getting food ready and whatnot. So Ivy had a sister named Gwendolyn. The Gwendolyn was not good, but she and one of the siblings name was Kennedy, and he was was Herman's friend.
Mm-hmm.
And they were at Cool Spot. That's a
The
bar
cool
we
spot. Okay.
with the soldiers to meet, sailors meet, I mean the girlfriend. So I was Gwendolyn, why wasn't you in her sister? But she says she don't know. She didn't ask her, and she was not going.
Wait a minute. So this is Ivy's sister wasn't invited to be in Ivy's wedding. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And so then you're at the cool spot, and somebody was
Wait a
asking.
minute,
Okay.
Mom.
I'm just trying to understand what you said so far. I'm not adding anything else. So you're at the cool spot, and you're talking to Ivy's sister.
No.
Okay.
She and Kennedy and Herman was at the cool spot also.
All right.
But I was at the cool spot in the main thing. They were up in the booth.
Okay.
So I did with years.
Mm-hmm.
I was so sick. So I was went there for this boyfriend of mine to come for the rehearsal, and he would walk me home. I would probably go to a restaurant and have some dinner or something. So I would drink some Coca-Cola, and I went to the bathroom, and I was coming back. Gwendolyn called me and said, "Come up here. I know you don't like you don't like the American sailors, but this man want to meet you, and he said you would be his wife. He got married that palm tree." So I went up and they said, and then when they said, I said, I'm going to Clifford. I said, I'm going to Clifford
I thought I
because
said that. Okay.
Clifford is going, I ever come wait for Clifford, but he comes at your sister rehearsal. So she said, she said, let's go. There was dance in the Cotton Club.
They're dancing at the Cotton Club? You said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just said, let's go to that. So I said, well, I'm going to Clifford. She said, nah, forget Clifford. Let's go. Let's go to that. So we all left. And just as we were leaving, Clifford walked in. So I told Clifford that I was going to that. I was going to the studio. No, Kelly told the girls, the women that there, that he was a married man. He loved his wife. He just wanted a woman to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
There be nothing more than no sex, no love cases. So if they so Ivy Gwendolyn was
Why do
said
you
she
keep
was
saying Ivy? You mean Gwendolyn, right?
huh?
You keep saying Ivy.
No, Gwendolyn.
Okay.
Gwendolyn was happy that because she was also engaged
Oh, okay.
to this guy.
All right.
And but he was I don't know where he went someplace and so I Gwendolyn was free. So we all went to the quarter.
Well, what did Clifford say when you told him?
Uh-huh.
What did Clifford say when you told him you were going dancing?
Clifford?
Yeah.
Nothing. Got to Clifford was crazy. Okay. See you tomorrow then, okay? That's it. So Clifford was the kind of guy like this. He make no, never eat. I told you he never eat whole hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell Lucille, my sister, that Clifford is a nice guy. And we walk. What we do, we walk. I look in the window, the store windows,
Mm-hmm.
and I had learned not to say I like something.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I said the next thing I know,
He bought it for you.
yeah, he bought it. So Lucille said, "Pooh, that's the kind of guy I like." So anyway, that's the difference over him.
Okay.
We went to dance, and your father started to act like a jackass. And he wouldn't have a hide, he wouldn't have a hide, and we could dance, and he didn't, I guess he didn't want to dance, he hide. So eventually, they have to get out of Cologne by 11 o'clock.
There's a curfew, right?
I had to come right. So Kennedy was for him, and I said, that's a clown. I can't be bad. So anyway, he's Kennedy talked to me. I said, you're an agent. What are you acting like this for? I am a bride because I can't dance, and I know she wants to dance, and so
Oh, Daddy said he couldn't dance.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he said, anyway, we leave it now, let's go. Okay, so we left, and we went to the bus stop with the brother and I,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and the left, I went to the beach, and I went back home, and went to the highway.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next night, he came, and I don't know what he came and I like to go to the cool spot. I went up there and he came and we talked. And the next thing I know, he told me what had happened to him. He didn't have any money. So he didn't have any money because he was on the ship passing through Panama, going to the Pacific.
Right.
And then He was out in the kitchen like a chef there, and the other sailor was like Becky. And it so happened that a white sailor was, they started to talk, and they come to find out that the white sailor and him were like cousins, because his grandfather was, Herbert's grandfather was um, son to a slave,
Master.
yeah,
Yeah.
slave, and he, what happened?
So,
Yeah.
so this guy is related. He's white, but he's his cousin.
Yeah,
Right.
because his
Okay.
name was Smith and Herbert's name was Stone, but Herbert's mother's name was Smith
Right.
also,
Right.
like his father, his
Johnson.
grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, the white sailor got, imagine he got a cousin, a family move, was sending a cousin, name, Smith, and he resented it. So he wouldn't call Herbert Stone anymore. He'd call him Ratko, Ratko. So Herbert got so mad with him, he said, grab him by his shirt thing. I said, what's my name? He said, your name is Stone. So our lieutenant was standing. The next thing he knew, he was called for court martial? Court. And he said to them what the guy did. I said, that man, that lieutenant, somebody, witnessed what happened. He said, I ain't seen nothing. But Smith says, probably that's what happened. And it is. So they were going to put him in the brig. So what he did was, they were, what they call that? They were, what they call it when they,
Cleaning up or whatever.
when
they're cleaning up.
No, when they're going to put you, when they're going to sentence you.
Court martial.
Court martial. And he said, they would court martial him, they would make another date for more hearing, right? And that's when they were going to court martial him. So what he did was, he asked permission, like a couple of days later, he asked permission to take the garbage out. So what he did was, took a duffel bag, put his typewriter in, and his one change of clothes, and put it in I put the garbage bag on top of that, and asked permission to go empty garbage, because you couldn't just walk around on the ship. So they gave him permission, and he went, emptied the garbage, took it down the bag, got on the bus, and went to Panama. He went to Colon, got the train, and went to Panama. Now he took off his shirt. I just hauled out his undershirt with the Panamanian dressed like that.
That's how they dressed. Okay.
They never put,
so he looked Panamanian, in other words. He looked
and
Panamanian.
he looked like a Panamanian. So he went and got the Panama City, because they would not city. That's the first place they would look for them would be in the city.
Right.
So he was like a place called Red Bank. And you could overlook and see not the color,
The locks?
ah,
The locks?
no, the ship went to the Columbia Court.
Okay.
Columbia Court. You see the ship went through. So he went to this bar, and the guy that started talking to him, and he never said a word they said. Because he told them, but they could speak English, but he could speak Spanish. So he told them what had happened. And they hated the Americans anyway, the white Americans anyway, because they had this gold and silver thing, and they took over the land, the people's land. So,
Well, stop there for a second, because this is what I was asking you about last week. Can you just briefly explain the gold and silver thing?
uh, he expressed them what happened and told them.
I was saying, can you explain the gold and silver thing real quick?
Oh, the gold and silver were the blacks. They said was native, but anybody that was black accepted the Americans. They claimed that they could use it, but they could use the gold section. The gold section was like the commissary they had from the white America. They had the commissary for the black, but they claimed it wasn't for the black American, but for the native that works at the canal zone. And they had made a place called the Silver City, where all the blacks live. So, so he was on the Red Bank, and he was talking to the guys up there, and he told them what had happened. And one of the guy took me and said, "Don't worry about it. You can come home with me, and my mother will take care of you." And he asked them to look out for, and he told the name of the ship, fish, and the number. I told them to look out when they said the ship went through, to tell him. Because if he goes AWOL, they're going to kill him. But if he can get back to the base before the 10 days are up, he'll be okay. So they told him, oh, that wouldn't, no problem. So that's exactly what he did. So he stayed there, and I think the 8th day, they told him the ship went through. Meanwhile, he said the captain of the ship and the captain of the base were fighting because he needed an extra man. So anyway, he went back to Cologne, and he went back to the base, and he reported to them. And he was 9 days, because he left the 8th day, he took the train back to Cologne, got back there. About 9 days he report. And so what they did was put him in the bridge for 5 days and cut his pay.
Right.
He just got enough money to buy shaving cream, toilet soap, and so forth. So now, when he was restricted to the base also. So when he could come over, about 2 months later, the Panamanian girls, they don't want to be married with those American men that had no money.
Right.
So that's how
So that's how you
I met him.
met him. Okay.
Yeah, what we did was we had to walk up and down the park, and I was making I think $7 a week in the store. And we probably go to the movies or something like that. And that was
That was it. Because you called it a haberdashery. You worked in a haberdashery, right? Okay, so but you're saying that Dad and you got together because none of the Panamanian girls would be interested in
what they found out is that
when he found out that he didn't have any money,
they
right?
dropped it like a
Yeah,
hot
so when
potato.
so that story was kind of the background to how you ended up with
We
him.
ended
And he was assigned
so
he was assigned a different ship, or he was assigned shore duty after that, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
we and it happened. I happened to got pregnant and had a baby. They evolved, and meanwhile my mother and father both had came up because Carmen was very sick.
Okay.
And
Carmen had TB.
yeah, Carmen had TB, and so my Carmen died. And we were born. The Carmen died on the 2nd of October. The baby was born on the 3rd of October. Anyway, um, my father went back and my mother stayed. And eventually, um, oh, I don't know what happened. I wasn't home. But Herman came to the house, and I came, she didn't have on a shirt. And he was in the rocking chair, sound asleep. And I said to my mother, what is wrong with him? She said, when he came in, and he was as drunk as the Lord. And he threw up. And he threw all up a bit of his shirt. So I took off his shirt and washed it, but in the pocket there was this permission to get married. I didn't know at the time he had to get permission to get married. So I said, well, he got some nerve. Get permission to get married. I have asked me. My mother said, don't be a fool. He wants permission to get married, you get married. Okay? Forget it. So, we got married. Oh, Ivy, meanwhile, the other sailor said to her, you're not getting married, you know. She said, what do you mean I'm not getting married? He said, because you know how long he been back in the base? Over a month. And you have, she said, no, he hasn't, because I get letters from him. I just got a letter from him today. In City South Carolina, he is back in the base. You go ahead and you look. So she decided to get on the bus, and sure enough, he was at the base. So she came up to me like we can get married this Saturday. And she got me Friday. And the husband said to me, don't tell a single soul we're getting married. And I said, okay. And so she came up that Friday night and told me that I was a fool I had a baby for this guy, but she was lucky she didn't have the baby. That I don't want a guy, and I just
But wait a minute. Because she found out that her fiance had a family already back in the United States.
Yeah.
You forgot to tell that part. Okay.
That's, yeah, when I went to the base, I confronted him.
Mm-hmm.
He had to tell her the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You
that
didn't
was
mention
the
that
end of that. Nothing she could do.
So she had been planning this wedding for months with
For
this
months,
man, and he's already
yeah.
married.
But she said, we didn't know. You have to ask permission to get married.
Right.
And it takes 6 months because when you apply, like her apply for the permission to get married to me, I was investigated.
Right.
So, but I came, so he got permission because I came through.
Mm-hmm.
And they took a blood test and the baby and him and they all matched, so that was that.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up, I don't know why they came up with that I started to rate American men and crazy. And I just agree with her. And she said, and there you are with the baby. He would lift you. And I said, oh, I doubt that. I doubt that. So, now meanwhile, I had a friend that named Amelia. And she lived in the same building that I lived in. So Amelia, she was Yvonne's godmother.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Amelia we get married.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't have the one to buy a ring. I didn't have the one to buy a ring.
Mm-hmm.
My husband didn't buy the license, but no one to buy the ring. So she said, don't worry about the guy. It so happened she worked in a jewelry store.
Mm.
So I told her, well, we get married. And she said, okay. And I wanted her to stand with me.
Mm-hmm.
So she was happy to do it. So the next morning I went to pick her up and she had some of the wedding ring that she had. Because she worked in the jewelry store, I think they gave it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went we got on the bus and went to the base. And there was Herman polishing his shoes, carrying and did give water, give us some lunch, and about quarter to 3, the couple came by the 3. Quarter to 3, he brought with the captain table a big bunch of rose flowers, a handtree, and the limousine pull up. And we got in the limousine, and I think it was about a block, and that's when we got out. And there we got to the chapel, and Herman went in first. I told us to wait. And and then a guy came to come on. He got ready, here comes the bride, and we walked up and got married.
So they played the music? You got to...
Oh, yeah, there's a little organ in the chapel.
And you marched in.
And he played Here Comes the Bride,
Mm-hmm.
and every day and I walk up and we got married. Okay. We got married and the limousine took us back to the captain's house. So every day I walked in the bus. I heard him say, I finished working with. So I got off.
He had to work. He had to go back to work.
Yeah, he went back to work.
Oh, okay.
and I went home.
You went home on the bus, okay.
Yeah, I went home, but so you can I will work at the same block every day work.
Okay.
And I got off the bus with the meter in front of her window with the block where she worked.
Right.
And I walked into the store that Ivy worked in, and I said, "Look, Ivy." And she almost fainted.
You showed her your wedding ring and she almost fainted. Okay.
She got so sick, they sent her home. Somebody told me I'm an evil person to do that to a child. I said, well, I didn't think about it. She was rated at the American Settlement so bad, I just had to do it. So anyway, she didn't hold against me.
I think you have a picture of her in your
Yes,
scrapbook.
I do.
Okay, we'll have to look for that. Yeah.
She's about, what is it, 5'2", 5 feet, 5'1", I'm 5.
Just a little short.
And that big.
Oh.
And Mina invited us to her home. She had a nice house, a nice apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But so we thought that she invited us to
have lunch or something, right?
dinner.
Yeah.
Because it was late night. I was 10 o'clock. And she shredded peas. And we sat there, talked to her. No food smell. Eventually we got up and told her we got to go eat. And she said, okay. And then Aunt Kate, living in the same building, we said, why did I keep it? That they would have given me a night reception.
But he told you don't tell nobody.
Tell nobody,
yeah,
right.
That's why you did. Yeah.
No, okay. Meanwhile, right after we got married, and it was real long fun, we got a house in Coconut, a nice house,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to go. We went to Salvation Army and bought a bed, and they had the kitchen furnished.
Mm-hmm.
But he bought the bed, and he bought a small table, round table for like a dining table.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we stayed. We said, yeah, that space.
Mm-hmm.
And they all criticized, oh, look at him. I done back and said, I guess you thought you were wild, money. And he buy clothes, things from the Salvation Army. Ha ha! Okay. So meantime, Yvonne got sick. And
Yvonne's a baby.
the baby, right. The guy said, and I took that child to she was about 6 months old. I took her to every doctor in Colon that time. And they could find out what's wrong with her. And so he told a doctor at the base, and he said, there's a nectar to the baby with a shot of penicillin.
It was diphtheria. They found out it was diphtheria.
Yeah, so he said to him, well, try to give the baby a shot of. He said, no, I can't do that. I can't use, I cannot, I am here for human, not for the civilians. And they count. I don't want, I have to give account of everything, every piece of medication I use.
He couldn't treat his family. He could only treat the soldier, basically.
Right.
Okay.
So he suggested, he said, well, why don't you take the baby to Congress Hospital? the American hospital. So we did. So Herbert, he and the, the administrator will put the baby in a silver section. So Herbert said to him, no, we did not. I am an American and we are married. And the baby goes to the gold section because at the gold section, when they really attend to the
Yeah, they'll get better treat. She'll get better care.
Better care, right. The gold section, the silver section. So he and this administrator had a big fight. So meantime, they told us to put the baby between in the hallway between gold
and silver.
So I went there to see the baby. And when I went there, they said the baby needed a transfusion. So I said to them, oh, well, I am the mother, so I can give her the transfusion.
Blood, right.
So they said, no, you can't because you might be pregnant. And we don't have time to test you to find you're pregnant. So what to do, we call the father and have him to come. And so they called the base and the Herbert came. And meanwhile, they told us to go to the lab and have he draw blood. So we went to the lab. I was together to sit down. And we sat down and we waited. And Herbert keep on talking, it's an emergency. My baby needs a transfusion. And please take my blood. Oh, you got to wait your turn. You got to wait your turn. So I guess we sat there about an hour. But when we came back, it's a balcony.
A balcony?
A balcony around the hospital.
Okay.
So when we came back, I'm walking up to go to the room. This nurse had this bottle and sound. This is a baby. Well, I tell you, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, she handed you the baby had died.
The baby had died, I wrapped up.
And they wrapped her up, yeah.
Yeah, I wrapped up, so I think I fainted.
You fainted, yeah.
I fainted away. I didn't know it, but I would say I just went down. And the baby had, and he said, and he thought, cursing that man, that minister said, how can a bad person know that they're killing people, dead people? And he kept saying with prejudice against black other people. He didn't make any sense. But anyway, that was nothing he could do about it, and nothing I could. And when I came to the book, give me Spanish sauce, I can't put this, and I came to, and we went home.
Oh,
And so the next day I went back to the hospital to morgue, and they gave us a coffee, and everything went to break. So this was Holy Week. So Good Friday, we have to bury the baby. So I went to the church, the Episcopal Church by Christ. Christ by the sea, right there by the sea. And I talked to the minister. I told him that I told him what happened. So he said, "When come, can you get here tomorrow? I want you here tomorrow at 9 o'clock. But go to, I take you to the cemetery because I have service at 12. And so every day and I went that evening, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, and they gave us a conference that we put the baby in the that's the baby put in the coffin, and about 8:30 the next day we went and the, to the church, and he drove us to the morgue, and he put the coffin in the back seat and the two of us got in front seat with the priest, and he drove to the cemetery, buried the baby, and which I came with so much of the baby.
Oh, wow. So that was Christ Church by the Sea?
Huh?
That was at Christ Church by the Sea?
Christ Church by the Sea, yeah. That's the church I always was the one that got to Cologne. And I did change my membership to Christ Church, but I used to go there every Sunday. That's the first time I went there. That was before I got married. I was there with my cousin Ted and my aunt Severine. And
Aunt Severine and Tents,
yeah, I went to church. And when I came from church, I went home there. And Ted had lunch ready, dinner. We didn't have lunch, dinner.
You called it dinner.
And she asked me what I'm going to do the rest of the evening. I told her, nothing, I don't. She said, well, here's a quarter. You go to the movie. And so I took the quarter and I went to the movie. And when I walked in, I walked in the movie, they were just showing the news. And the American had raided and captured Germany. And I'm telling you, the concentration camp, there were bones piled that high. People.
Oh, God.
Piled.
Mounds of people from the Holocaust.
I said, and
How horrible.
You know how loud I can be?
Yeah.
What is? They said, "But shut up. Shut up." That's in Germany where the Hitler killed all those people. Just take a see them. I'm telling the truth.
Wow.
Oh, God.
And that's why still you're so... that's why still to this day, if anything is on about the Holocaust or Hitler, you're wanting to see it or know about it or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was real. I mean, it happened in your... Yeah, and then
there was just a white moon piled high, as you can say.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, anyway, so I went to the movie and I saw that. When I was back to the funeral. So we went to the funeral and that was it.
That was it.
That Sunday, the visiting nurse came and I said, "What do you want?" "Oh, well, I'm going to take time with you because we heard the baby died. The baby died, and we want to know, they know what the baby had. And we want to make sure that, I thought you did make sure that the baby got what it needed, So what to make it sure that I go have, and I am a native. I am not an American. So get out of here now. And with that she left. I lost so much weight. I look like one of those big skeletons that.
Was the baby, was Yvonne considered an American citizen? Was Yvonne considered an American citizen?
She was an American citizen.
She was considered, because she was born on a...
no, she was born in a native hospital.
In what? A native hospital?
Yeah.
But her father was American?
Yeah, that's right, her father was American. When she was born, we were married then.
Got you.
But we got married afterwards.
Right,
yeah.
I see.
But he was still the father. And he had a right here. Because we got a passport already and not passport, papers and things ready for her to come to the shipyard. After she died, he rushed it. We just got papers. But he said if he had to leave Panama, he didn't want to leave with it. He just had to move to the States. So he got all the papers and things together. So,
little did you know that you were pregnant.
Oh, I got sick. I was so sick. I then went to the doctor. So, and he told me, he said I was pregnant. He said my womb had twisted. And I don't know.
He said your womb twisted.
Was twisted, yeah. And then somebody, Katie said, you're pregnant. That's how I knew I was pregnant. And that's when he rushed
the paperwork.
The paperwork, it says, you are not going to have this baby here because you are crazy.
And that was, you were pregnant with Sylvia, and we told the story a couple of weeks ago, or last week, about when you were flying over to New Orleans pregnant with Sylvia.
I told?
Yeah, so we've already talked about how you left Panama to go to the United States while you were pregnant with Sylvia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're kind of caught up to that part of the story now. Okay. That's good. That's good.
Did I tell you why landed in New Orleans?
Yeah, we heard that story last week.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yes, we did.
I did not tell you that story that about me, and you told me that what her name wanted to hear that story.
No, you told the story. We went through all New Orleans. You got on the bus. We went all the way up to Harlem. You did that. We did it last week. We did it.
Went to Harlem?
Yeah, to Grandma's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
We're caught up. Okay, thank you.